25,000 brand new AI jobs. GPT-4 API will be available to everyone, and how AI may end the war in Ukraine. You're watching the AI Report. Lots of great stuff as usual. Let's get into it. Tata Consultancy Services will train 25,000 AI engineers and deepen their relationship with Microsoft. Take that, people who cry that AI will destroy jobs. Honestly, I've been monitoring AI news super closely for months now. I don't think more than 5,000 jobs have been lost as a direct consequence of AI so far, at least the ones that are reported. And we already have 25,000 shiny new AI jobs. And those are real, actual jobs, not solopreneur side hustles for delusional entrepreneurial builders such as yours truly. Speaking of delusional entrepreneurial builders, you will now be able to build apps that nobody uses with the GPT-4 API. The API is now available to everyone. Wow, I feel so snubbed by OpenAI that this is real here. I was on the waiting list for months for this thing. Never got a word back from them, even though my project use case was to use AI for, quote, solve wars, end quote. And now they open the API for everyone? Honestly, it's hard for me to not take this personally. I mean, give me some access at least a day before you open it to everyone. Make me feel a little special, for crying out loud. Anyway, great stuff here. I have a to-do list with 700 items on it, and the items involving building something with the GPT API are now getting a bump in priority. While we're on the subject of ChatGPT, they also released a code interpreter plugin. It empowers ChatGPT to run code for you, access files you've uploaded, analyze data, etc. That may be cool, but there's one last piece of ChatGPT news that's not so cool. The monthly traffic and unique visitors for ChatGPT app are down in the month of June for the first time since ChatGPT rocked our world and made AI the buzzword of the decade. There's about a 10% decline in June compared to May. Well, you win some, you lose some. These declines are inevitable, and I suspect the main reason for that is something that I'm kinda starting to say in every video. Most of these tools are moderately useful, but they're still not extremely useful. Progress is inevitable, but so is the occasional decline, ups and downs. Next, author of the amazing book Sapiens and nerdy neighbor quietly judging your inferior trash selection practices, Yuval Noah Harari, thinks that creators of AI robots that masquerade as humans should face harsh criminal sentences, even go to prison. Well, doesn't that mean Mark Zuckerberg's parents should go to prison? They are the creators of the ultimate AI robot that almost perfectly masquerades as human. So Harari argues that if millions or billions of fake profiles can be created that flood the internet, trust in the internet would vanish. I don't know, maybe prison is a bit too gung-ho. I think verified profiles might be enough. Plus, I think people already trust social media and the internet too much. A bit more skepticism may be healthy. Next, AI will be able to buy and sell Bitcoin on the Lightning Network. Can't wait for the waves of new groundbreaking crypto trading bots that will be much better than you at wasting all of your money. While we're on the subject of waste, traditional classrooms might get reimagined or even entirely obliterated by AI. Professor Stuart Russell, a British computer scientist based at the University of California, Berkeley, says that the use of AI could result in fewer teachers being employed, possibly even none. But then who will the students abuse while they're going through vicious hormonal swings? And who will sleep with the students? Seriously though, this is one of the most promising uses of AI. Chatbots are pretty much perfect for tutoring, and now every child will have access to a personalized, all-knowing, eternally patient tutor. That is, every child who actually wants to learn something, instead of smoke cigarettes behind the school building with the older kids. Let's go to the other end of the life spectrum. Old people will now tell their stories about how much they had to walk to school to robots, instead of bothering unsuspecting youngsters accidentally sitting next to them on the bus. Bella is a robot assistant that cleans the floors, brings food, entertains, encourages exercise, engages with the elderly, and just makes your Nana's life a bit less boring. Maybe now she'll finally stop bothering you about when you're gonna get married to a nice girl from your own culture, religion, and race. Kidding aside, Robots like these will make the lives of the elderly much better. Speaking of people who refuse to die, I'm pretty sure we're gonna live forever. And by we, I mean people under 50 that will probably live long enough to see the cure for death. And I'm pretty sure AI will have a lot to do with that. AI is used to discover anti-aging drugs faster and cheaper than ever. So, your own death is basically old cells in your body that have just been through a lot. Remember all of that partying you did when you were young and you thought you were gonna live forever? Well, that rock and roll lifestyle slowly damages the DNA of your cells. But it's not just that. It's also poor dietary choices, stress, your annoying partner, and just aging in general. Or simply put, your life. Anyway, once a cell becomes so fed up with you, it becomes what's known as a senescent cell. Senescent cells secrete inflammatory proteins that spread to your other cells that are still in the game of life. Well, long story short, the trillion-dollar question is how to kill those damn cells. And before the age of AI, we had very limited knowledge on how to do that, but now progress is being accelerated. I like life quite a lot, so I've been following the developments on how we're gonna become immortal gods that pollute the planet forever. To be fair though, I think that somewhere around the time I turn 500, I might decide to check out. I'm sure in that time frame, I will see something that's gonna make me think, okay, that's enough for me. Gotta go back to the eternal void now, you guys have fun. But yeah, we still have a lot to discover, or rather, these genius scientists do. Me, and I assume you as well, make absolutely no contribution to human immortality. We just wait for the pill. And I think we'll have it available sooner than we previously thought. Just don't die in the next 20 years is all I'm saying. And finally, sadly, while most of us won't die anytime soon, that may not be the case for those kids fighting in Ukraine. Seriously, I was in Kiev like 3 or 4 years ago. I saw tons of soldiers marching around and getting ready even back then. None of them were older than 23. Most of them were like 19 or 20 if I had to guess. I assume that's the case with the Russian soldiers as well. It's honestly just terrible. Anyway, the reason why I bring this up is because the war in Ukraine is bringing some unexpected advances in AI. It's almost a universal truth that nothing advances technology like war does. Did you know that because of wars, today we have stuff like vaccines, antibiotics, very effective fertilizers, jet engines, radars, and even computers, one might argue. I mean, of course, wars also have the part where, tens of millions of people die and immeasurable human pain and suffering is inflicted. But, that's pretty much part of the human condition anyway, right? It just comes with the territory. So, Ukraine has about 250,000 people in what they call the IT army, which is a bunch of engineers and thinkers and smart peoples that are finding all sorts of clever ways to use everyday technology in making the lives of the invaders miserable, and a lot of it has to do with AI. They're making drones, munitions, little tanks, reconnaissance, intelligence gathering, all sorts of autonomous weapon systems they use for various purposes, from good old-fashioned fighting to hunting down war criminals. They even have an AI platform of their own for this. Members of the IT army even build AI-powered weapons in their garages for just a few $100. It sounds like they're building startups over there or something. Man, look at this thing. Feels like we're in the Star Wars universe already. The most impressive feat that Ukraine accomplished through its AI development was the fact that the engineers did all of this on a fraction of the budget that American companies have used. Yeah, that sounds like something us Slavic people would do. Haters might call us cheapskates, but we call that resourcefulness. Well, this is a touchy subject. Obviously, every human death in this war is horrible, no matter what side the person is on. Maybe we can say that if AI helps the war end sooner, that may not be such a bad thing. And that's the way it is. That was the AI report. You should know that by hitting those like and subscribe buttons, you are contributing to spreading knowledge, which leads to world peace. So go ahead and make the world a better place. Like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.